Hello, beautiful souls. It's Cosmic Cat here from the Cozy Coven, and this is your weekly tarot forecast. I'm doing it as a pick a card this week just to try out different things and see what is more popular, what works best. So there's 3 piles of cards. We have the Rose Quartz and the Night Vale Tarot on the left. In the middle, the Crystal Tarot and the Clear Quartz. And on the right, we have my Cosmic Cat Tarot deck and Labradorite. Just take a moment to make your selection. Choose intuitively which pile is calling to you. Have that question in your mind. What's going on for me this week? What can I expect this week? What does this week have in store for me? What energies are guiding me this week? And then once you've made your selection, just click the timestamp below and go straight to your reading. Okay, so if you chose pile 1 with the Rose Quartz Crystal and the Night Vale Tarot deck, this is your reading. Okay, so for your overall theme of the week, you have this 10 of Pentacles card, which is this gathering of these mystical, spooky looking figures. And it really feels like, they're plotting something, they're convening to discuss an important matter. So I feel like the theme of this week for you is how can you create abundance through the connections in your life, through community. You might be going to some sort of gathering, you might be going to a community event, you might be going to a retreat, to a festival, to somewhere where you're going to be meeting and coming together with like-minded souls, possibly soul family, people who share your ideals, your visions, and who want to support you to create whatever it is you want to create in the world. So I definitely seen financial abundance and success, but also abundance in terms of friendship, abundance in terms of love and connection, and just the joy that comes from finding those people that you really click with and feeling like you belong. That's what's going on for you this week. So moving into your possible challenges, you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is kind of a scary looking card here of this axe coming down. And it looks like it's coming down upon a book that's being torn up into shreds with the blood. So I feel like your possible challenges are related to your word and your words having power, perhaps not being very careful about what you say, but also you might find it a challenge to actually speak your truth. So the challenges I'm feeling are somehow connected to words. The words you say and the words you don't say, knowing that your words have power. It could also be about action or inaction. So you don't want to be in complete inaction and procrastination because nothing will move forward, but you also don't want to act too hastily. So just be wary of listening to your intuition and acting when the time is right, not allowing yourself to be rushed because you're copying what someone else is doing, but also try not to fall into that pit of perfectionism and holding back to the point where you don't do anything at all. The solution then is the Six of Swords. So we have this image of, you're looking down at the ground through the blades of the helicopter. You're seeing things from a new, higher perspective, and you're moving away from stress, drama, whatever it is that isn't serving you. So I feel like there might be things that you need to take decisions on this week. There might be things that you need to take action on or speak up about or have, difficult or in-depth discussions. But in order to do that, you need to sort of zoom out and see the bigger picture, allow everyone to have their say, think about not just the ramifications of this moment for you and the people involved, but for everyone, for humanity. I know that sounds kind of heavy, but it is true, every action that we take, it's affecting the generations who will come after us. And it is, I really kind of see, You see these Ten of Pentacles, I see that as your ancestors as well, like sort of convening to discuss how they can help and support you. And they're helping to support you to be supportive, to be a future supportive ancestor of your descendants. Okay? So your blessing for this week is the Three of Pentacles. And it's kind of a similar energy to that Ten of Pentacles, you know, connecting with like-minded people to bring a project to fruition. But I feel like it's, you know, you're going to be convening with people who are in it for the long haul, who are in it with you till the end of that pier. You know, this is something, whatever you're creating with these people, it's stretching out to the horizon. A message that came up in the collective reading I did for Samhain was, you know, remember that you're on a marathon, you're doing a marathon, not a sprint. You know, what seeds are you planting now that will allow for long-term longevity, prosperity, and growth? And how can you pace yourself in that? And I feel like you're really building support systems right now. Part of that activity, that aspect of planting seeds, is how can you get the right players around you, the right support system, who will then propel you to continue to grow and thrive in whatever it is you're creating. The outcome of this week is the Hanged Man. Okay? So don't worry too much about this. The Hanged Man. So what I'm seeing is illusions are going to be shattered. Okay? So perhaps with, you know, the help, guidance, and support of the people you're going to be connecting with this week, you're going to be shown the light. Basically, something is going to be brought to your attention and you will gain clarity and a new perspective on something that you were previously in the dark about, you know, that, you know, was previously dwelling in the shadows for you. And sometimes being confronted with harsh truths can be uncomfortable, it can be upsetting, and it's not pleasant, but it will be in the interest of your highest and best good. So just trust that. This also might mean that you have to kind of put the brakes on something and take a step back and pause and reflect and reassess. But it's much better that you do this rather than, you know, blindly continuing on headlong, like everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, when it's really not. Okay? So prepare for illusions to be shattered this week. You're going to be meeting some soul family, making some beautiful connections, speaking your truth. And yeah, I just wish you an absolutely beautiful week. If you're interested in booking a personal one-to-one reading with me to gain more insight and clarity on what's going on for you at this point in your life, please do just click the link in the description and you can go ahead and book that one-to-one reading with me. Sending you so much love and so much light. Take care. Okay, beautiful souls, if you chose pile 2 with the clear quartz and the crystal tarot deck, this is your reading. So you have this, I always want to call this the Knight of Swords, but it is actually the Page of Swords, but he looks like a knight, so I associate this card very much with Knight of Swords energy. But we can bring in that Page of Swords energy too. So your theme this week is about getting very clear on the part that you play. So that could be the part that you play in humanity, in your life, the roles you play in your life, and just understanding that you can't underestimate the importance of what you have to give and offer the world. And at the same time, you don't have to try and be everything. You don't have to be all the pieces on the chessboard. You're just one piece and you're playing a very integral part. And perhaps you are the knight fighting for what you believe in. And then the Page of Swords energy is sort of like, you know, being a messenger, being a communicator. So Perhaps you're going to be talking about an issue that's very important to you this week on social media. Maybe you're going to be giving a speech. Maybe you're just going to be showing up very courageously and authentically in the conversations that you're having with the people in your life this week. But it's very much about clarity. It's about sticking to your guns. It's about not sitting on the fence about things, like staking your claim, being like, this is what I believe in and this is why. And that is how you can be in integrity. Of course, it's okay to change your opinion, to change your beliefs when you've gained more experience and information, but it's also okay to have opinions. I think sometimes, especially today, because of cancel culture, people are afraid sometimes to have opinions. But Spirit wants you to rise up and say, look, I'm going to speak out for what I believe in. I'm going to declare my truth. And, people might shoot me down for it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because, what is the point of this life otherwise if I don't fight for what I believe in? But there's also a calm energy to this card, because he's standing on a chessboard and then it's floating on a pond with lily pads. So it's sort of like, by stating what you believe in and what your position is in the world, it means that you don't float away. You have a sense of purpose. But it's also, there's a calm and a serenity that comes with that as well. So beautiful energy for you this week. Possible challenges, you have the 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups, maybe a little bit of emotional chaos in your life this week. This could be internally or in the people around you. There may also be, some sort of energy of lack, grief, sorrow, focusing, a tendency to focus on the have-nots rather than the haves. So focusing on what hasn't yet manifested for you, focusing on what you don't have, rather than leaning into that abundance mindset, leaning into the gratitude, leaning into counting your blessings. And yeah, it's quite clear that the solution to this challenge is the 10 of Cups. Taking a look around and counting your blessings, look at all the abundance, the joy, the happiness, the love in my life, and I think it's really important for you to appreciate how far you've come this week as well. When things aren't working out, when you feel frustrated, when you find yourself slipping into that lack mentality, or, what's going wrong, what hasn't happened yet. Think back to where you were this time last year, this time 5 years ago, this time 10 years ago. Where were you then? And what would that version of yourself say now if they could see you today? They'd be like, wow, that's amazing. And they'd congratulate you. So take a moment to congratulate yourself this week. Take a moment just to celebrate how far you've come. For your blessings this week, you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is just such a beautiful card. It's a card of new growth, new opportunity, perhaps a new job, a windfall, some sort of financial success. But it could also be, something like buying a new home. It could be something like starting a new business, something where it's going to provide you with long-term happiness, joy, and fulfillment. So it could be the beginning of a long-term relationship as well, or collaboration. But it's very much, a card of stability, strength, and longevity. And then your outcome for this week is the 9 of Cups. So, you've got the 10 of Cups, you've got the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups is sort of like the wish that you make, and then the 10 of Cups is it coming true. But they're the other way around. Instead of you making the wish and then it coming true, by counting your blessings, then you make more wishes and more abundance and magic comes into your life, if that makes sense. So you can also count your blessings before they manifest, which is a very powerful and potent way to manifest, whatever it is you want more of in your life, more love, more joy, more happiness, more success. imagining as if you already have it, acting as if you already have it. How would you be feeling? What would you be doing? How would you be speaking to others? Thinking that sort of thing. But I really do feel like there's some sort of celebratory energy about this as well. So it might be like you get an invite to a wedding, or you're going to a wedding or a celebration, or you're going on like a shopping trip or something where you're just allowed to be in that pleasure, in the energy of pleasure, luxury, abundance. So, all in all, a very abundant week for you, I would say. Abundant in every sense, emotionally, physically, materially, so much love, joy, and happiness, as well as potentially money and financial wealth and reward. And Spirit's really asking you to just drink it all in, be that knight or that page of swords, just be present. Be present with what's going on in your life, because if we're not living in the present moment, then we're living in the past, or we're projecting into the future. And it's okay to visualize your ideal future. That's a very important aspect of moving forwards in a powerful and positive way. But it's also really important to be present with where we are now and just appreciate all the blessings and joy coming your way. So this is your reading, pile 2. Looks like you're going to have a great week. I send you so much love and so much light. If you would like to book a personal reading with me to gain more clarity and insight into what's going on in your life right now, we can also integrate some healing. I do crystal and sound healing into that session as well. If you book an hour-long session, just click the link in the description. And yes, I look forward to hearing from you soon. Lots of love. Take care. Okay, and last but not least, we have pile 3 with the Labradorite crystal and the Cosmic Cat Tarot deck. So, for your theme of the week, you have the 10 of Pentacles. Now, you might want to look at pile 2 as well, because they also had the 10 of Pentacles come up, but just not in this position in the reading. So, your theme of the week is joy, abundance, love, happiness, really embracing the full spectrum of life. So I feel like you might be going to some sort of celebration, gathering, event where there is a full spectrum of people, perhaps LGBT community, or just some sort of multicultural event. A gathering of people with different ideas or from different backgrounds and cultures, and just embracing the diversity in your life. And yes, the abundance and joy that has to offer you. Your possible challenges this week: the 6 of Swords, 6 of Wands. Now, this is normally a card about victory, but when I saw the elephant here, I immediately thought the elephant in the room. So I feel like the possible challenge for you this week is skirting around an issue that you don't want to talk about, that you don't want to address, but it really needs to be addressed. Or you see other people sort of skirting around an issue and you're like, oh God, come on guys, can we talk about this? And it might be that you're sitting right on top of it like the little cat, but you still don't want to talk about it, and you're just trying to pretend that it doesn't exist. But on the flip side of that, once you do address the issue, there will be success, victory, cheering, and acknowledgement of the strength that it took to bring up that issue. The solution is the King of Swords, so being direct, cutting to the point, not beating around the bush, and also setting firm boundaries. So maybe it's a conversation that requires everyone to sit down and be like, okay, we're going to talk about this issue, but one person at a time, and we need to be respectful of one another, and blah, blah, blah. This could also be a conversation that you have internally with yourself, or with different aspects and parts of yourself, like inner child, your shadow aspects. If you do any work around, internal family systems or with parts, you might have different, you might be conscious of different parts of yourself, like an inner protector part or things like that. And again, when you have these conversations with yourself, it's always good to set ground rules like, okay, we're going to be respectful of one another. Everyone has a voice, everyone's going to be heard, but no one is wrong. No one is going to be exiled or persecuted for having their say and their opinion. I really do feel like this is a conversation that's going to be led by love. That pink color of the elephant, the pink in the eye of the King of Swords. This is a situation that you need to see through the eyes of love and through the eyes of your heart. Blessing for you this week is the Page of Wands. So you might be going on a little adventure, learning about something new, studying a topic or learning about a topic or reading something that you find really fascinating and interesting. But this is a sort of fiery spark of creativity and imagination and curiosity, and having that beginner mindset, being comfortable in that beginner mindset and having the curiosity to learn more and to develop and grow. We stop growing when we think that we know it all. And the blessing for you this week is that you're able to be in that beginner mindset, in that learner mentality where you're like, I always have more to learn. And, everything I learn is another feather in my cap, but I don't profess to know it all. And your outcome for this week is the Queen of Pentacles, okay? So the Queen of Pentacles is this lovely, nurturing, grounded energy. I really feel like you might be doing some work in your garden or spending some time in a place of natural beauty by the end of this week. But I feel like this is also very much reflective of the abundance, the joy, the love in your life, the people surrounding you who fill up your cup and who support you to fill up your own cup before you give to others. There's really this energy of nourishment, of feeling nourished. And nourishment can refer to, of course, our physical health. But I really feel like, things like being sociable, going to events, meeting with people, studying, learning new things, these are all things that you need to nourish you. So thinking this week about how you can nourish every aspect of yourself, by the end of the week, you're just going to be feeling so good, so grounded, so vibrant and full of vitality as well. So all in all, it's a week of abundance. You might need to have some difficult, tricky conversations, but it will be worth it in the end, and you'll come out the other side, positively glowing. So this is your reading pile 2. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing week. If you'd like to book a one-to-one reading with me, please just click the link in my description. I have options for email readings and face-to-face readings via Zoom online. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.